very much, Mr Pritchard. It's a pleasure to speak in this debate, and I congratulate again the Right Honourable Gentleman for Elmet and Rothwell on securing this. And I think, you know, some of the comments, I put a shout out on social media yesterday, and I was overwhelmed by the responses that I got from women across my Livingston constituency and beyond. And one just came in there when I posted about the debate and asking people to watch it, from a woman who literally said, "It nearly killed me." And I think that goes to the heart of the issue and the severity of endometriosis and its symptoms. And I mean, one statistic that I wasn't aware of, that the Right Honourable Gentleman said in the beginning in his contribution, that there is an increase, 62% increase of heart attack in those who suffer from endometriosis. And one of my own staff members has had a hysterectomy because of endometriosis, and she suffers from a number of other health issues which we have done our very best to support and accommodate her with. But seeing the pain that she has gone through, a number of my friends suffer. One of my friends, Sabrina, got in touch with me. I remember working with her in Aberdeen, and the pain and suffering that she went through, and sadly the lack of support that she often got from employers, was significant. Now, the Right Honourable Gentleman mentioned an anonymous person that got in touch who worked at HMRC, and I've also had somebody who got in touch who doesn't want to be named, who works at HMRC, who said that she felt unable to miss work appointments, that has caused deep emotional impact and huge anxiety. And she said, "I work in a male-dominated civil service department, and I've had many concerns ignored by a previous manager who even refused to document her condition as it made him feel uncomfortable." And I think, you know, the fact that we have so many men speaking up on this issue today, that my honourable friend from North Ayrshire, Naren, and her husband in the Scottish Parliament has raised this a number of times, goes to show that there are men out there who care. But we need to make sure that every employer, and I think we can make a significant dent in this by getting the government, the UK government, to commit to making sure, whether it's HMRC, whichever of their departments, are sensitive, are prepared, because it's very clearly an issue in their own house. Now, this has been a hugely consensual debate, so I don't want to be overly critical, but I think we have that consensus in the chamber, in the Westminster Hall debate here, if we have it nowhere else, and we can do something about this if we work together. And the number of members, you know, the Honourable Member for Dewsbury and what she has had to endure, the Honourable Member for Sheffield Healy, have spoken so powerfully about their own experiences and the work that they have done. I think that there is huge expertise in this room, and I just want to give a voice to some of the women who've got in touch with me, who've said, one has said, I was lucky to have a good employer. Eventually they sent me home with a promise that if I go to the doctor, as the pain was so bad, one day they might get help. But she said her doctor had no clue. She had to go to hospital so many times after suffering for 10 years. Another women got in touch, Ailsa, who said, "It completely impacted my work and social life due to the pain, anxiety and isolation." Another was in touch, Rebecca, said it's had a life-changing impact on her mental health. Since it's happened, she's been trying to reduce her working hours. That's still not been implemented. She's been off sick since August. A number of women have been in touch to say that their employers have been sensitive to this, but so many have not. And raising awareness is our duty, but doing something about this issue is even more of a duty. And one woman who got in touch said that she was constantly being hauled into HR, being called a liar and threatened with dismissal. And another woman who got in touch with me said her employer refused to provide a sanitary bin because it was too expensive and he didn't want to add it to the costs of the business. So, I mean, I just find it utterly incredible that we have 1.5 million women across the UK affected by this, and we have employers who think that that is acceptable. They are breaking the law. We have to be absolutely clear about that. But it also goes to show that just having legislation in place does not solve the problem. And I spoke earlier about an organisation, Endo Warriors of West Lothian, who were founded in 2017 by Candice Mackenzie and Claire Beattie, and I want to pay tribute to them. They recently walked, as I did, on the Kilt Walk in Edinburgh to raise money for the Expect Centre in Edinburgh, which is a specialist clinic for endometriosis. But we also have to recognise the challenges in rural areas, whether that's in Scotland or across the UK, where we have women who have to travel further to get services, and so why it is particularly important that we have good practice. And another constituent who got in touch, Rachel, has said that she has lobbied her employer. They now have an understanding. She's been able to get better support. But previously, she was having to take holiday pay, lose holiday pay, take holidays for operations and hospital appointments, that she wasn't able to get sick pay, which added to stress and financial worry. And the poor experiences resulted in her taking more time off. One woman told me how she's fighting with her employer to get reduced working hours just so she can work at a desk. We are all employers, Mr Pritchard. It is our duty to make sure that we support our staff. And I must also mention, before I close, Emma, who got in touch with me. And she said, 25 years blessed with a curse. She was finally diagnosed 10 years ago after 10 years of being palmed off. And this is how it went for her. She was told it's hypochondria, that old chestnut. Periods are meant to be painful, said by a man. I'm sure your pain's very real to you, as she crawled into A&E, crying her eyes out, vomiting in pain. Periods can't cause leg pain. She uses crutches some of the time. Passing out with pain when going to the toilet can often happen, and she was told that she looked fine. And she said to me, through the years I've passed out so much, my bathroom floor has had more hits than Take That. So I think that just really goes to very much the heart of the issue. Shirley said she'd worked full-time and had no support from bosses and management. Even after her specialist wrote to her employer, she's still not got no support. In fact, they stressed me out so much I had a heart attack. These experiences are absolutely outrageous, and wherever we find them, we must call them out. But not every woman can get in touch with her employer or get a specialist to write a letter. So we must do everything we can as members of Parliament, as legislators, to change the narrative, to change the law if it needs to be changed, but work across departments, holistically, across the UK, to make sure that women who suffer from endometriosis get the proper diagnosis at the proper time, the right support, and when they are at work, they should not be persecuted for something they have no control over.